Welcome back, everybody, for another Halloween Horror Nights 2026 update. We finally have our 4 original houses. We are still missing 1, but we just got another announcement today. We're going to talk all about it. So we are still waiting for that 5th one, which should come out hopefully tomorrow. But there are some scare zone updates. We have some new trusses, we have some new lights, a few things just to cover today. We also have another HHN video coming out this weekend at some point, whether it's tomorrow, throughout the weekend. But we need to talk a little bit about the spec map. I won't talk too much about it now, but we'll talk about it in a little bit. I planned on coming out here to do a video for Hollywood Drift, but the rain was kind of coming in. I thought it was gonna rain, and of course, like Florida fashion, it never ended up raining, and missed out on doing that video. So that should hopefully be out by the end of the weekend as well. Let's get inside. We're here a little bit earlier, so we're dodging a little bit of the heat. No major updates to the trusses and lights outside. It does look like they have been shifting them around. I can see one of those is kind of pointing downward, but outside of that, it doesn't look like they've really added any of them. They all look to be about the same, facing generally the same direction. It is busy this morning coming into the park. Definitely a lot busier than when I come here around noon. All of these are filled up. One day I will take this turn and we will have an entry facade here, but it probably won't be for over a month, most likely. Maybe we get the trusses here at some point, but for now, doesn't look to be happening. Lights also do seem to be turned slightly, just a little bit. Either way, let's go see our very first update right here next to Despicable Me. Here they are, our mini trusses right here next to Despicable Me. Now, I think we're probably going to be getting the hub style system again. I'll show you kind of why I believe that as well in a minute. But as you can see, they are here. Typically, this was kind of signage pointing you back and saying, hey, this is like the hub. Here's the houses back here. So I think that is what we are going to get right here. Now we'll go over to the other entrance and I'll show you why I think we are getting the hub once again. It also makes sense because there's still quite a bit of construction happening for the old Rip Ride and now Hollywood Drift. 50 minutes for Despicable Me right now. 5 minutes for Villain Con. Oh, wait a minute, look. They did some updates to the lights here. So that one is now like no longer underneath, but it is actually sticking up. And then this one is like tucked away in the corner. I believe they were next to each other before, and now it is out and about. Interesting. So they have moved them just a little bit. So they are making some sort of adjustments throughout here. Also, is that more? I think we have more lights put up here. This area is super lit up. Wait a minute. That's like a lot more lights. I think there used to be like 4 here. I think we've like doubled. And then the one weird light that's facing the wall, which I don't know if it's meant to be that way or if they just kind of installed it and left it facing that direction, but I don't know, kind of weird if so. If you guys are interested in Halloween Horror Nights content, Universal Orlando content, just Central Florida theme parks, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be covering it all season long. But let's talk about this specific area right now and why I don't think this is necessarily HHN right now. Now, if you guys are in the park and you see these trusses up here by the stage, we have 1 of them, 2 of them right behind me. We have a 3rd right here. On the other side, we have 4, 5, and 6. I don't believe these are pertaining to HHN. I believe this is going to be for the 4th of July. This is typically where you come for the end. They have some music going on, and then they tend to shoot fireworks off right back there. So if you guys are here and you're seeing these, you're like, wow, what are they doing here? It's just probably for 4th of July. However, right over there is what I want to go talk about. Before we go over there, I will say those lights, however, might be for HHN. As we can see, 2 of them placed up here, pointing in different directions. What I actually think would be amazing is if this was the queue for the Jack vs. Oddfellow house, and then up there, they did like a Jack vs. Oddfellow stage show, and those curtains would like open and close, and they would come out and do like a little performance for everybody that's standing in the queue. And like every, I don't know, 15 or 30 minutes or whatever, like you get a new little show and maybe there's a rotating set of them. So normally they just like play sound effects and like show little clips on the screen. But if this was a show and this was the queue for the house, right? I think that would be awesome. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't know, we can believe. There's also so much construction happening on Hollywood Drift, and I'm so upset that I did not come out here yesterday because of the rain that never ended up showing up, of course. Either way, this is what I was talking about. I believe this will be our next portal entrance, or again, back to the hub entrance. So this is basically B, you have A up front. That'll take you back to 2 houses over there. Then you can connect through in the back. This one is for like B, which will take you over that direction to the 2 houses on that side. And then you could still, again, connect back through. But this is kind of your quickest way over, and that other way will be your quickest way to those houses. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to keep it the same as far as the layout back there, but I'm guessing they're going to keep this hub style system because there is still going to be construction going on this year during Halloween Horror Nights. So it kind of makes sense that we're getting the hub again because they can't really utilize too much of the space. We got to get past this and back and beyond, especially over to the right. There's going to be construction happening by the building and everything for Hollywood Drift that way, and same thing over here to the left. So I don't think we have a lot of space, which means I think we need to put all the cues in the back and in the sound stages. It is so incredibly hot today. Again, it is about 11 right now, and I feel like the heat is coming on fast and furiously. But let's get some air, and then let's talk about our most recent house announcements, since we didn't talk about the last two. Absolutely needed. Look at us. But anyway, we're gonna get back on the move. We did get 2 house announcements. Now, they did skip a day, which they did last year as well, because we had an original early with El Artista, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's kind of the same thing this year, where we got the announcement on Monday. It was like, okay, let's kick it off. And then Tuesday, we didn't get an announcement. I think everybody was probably like, what's going on? I thought this was announcement week. Turns out they started again Wednesday. So today's Thursday, so we have Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which means we have 4 originals. Obviously, we have 3 announced this week, but we still have Jack vs. Oddfellow, which is still an original, which is why we have 4. Tomorrow will be the 5th, and then we'll have everything. So we'll talk about it here in a second. Let's get back on the move. I was about to say, it smells like asphalt out here, like tar almost. And I was like, oh my gosh, is it that hot that we are cooking? No, they totally repaved all this, and that's why it smells. I'm just noticing that right now. But I was like, holy cow, it's so hot. It's actually melting the ground. It's not, it's just, I mean, it probably is, to be honest, but also they just repaved it. I also think those 2 lights might have been recently added. I don't believe any of them above Jimmy Fallon have. And then over here, I think we have 1 light that has been added. Before I show you that, look at all of these over here along the rooftop. There's a lot of lights, by the way. Lots and lots of lights. There's more over there. They're all lining up top. That's awesome. Okay, let's come over here. I'll show you the 1 light that I think was newly added. So I believe it is that one right there. So you have like these cylindrical lights all over the place. And I think they added 1 of those on the right-hand side, because we already had that batch of 4, but I think that single one is brand new. And we still have a bunch of lights up along the rooftops. Also, those might be new too, on the edge of a Sahara Traders. I think they've added actually quite a number of lights all throughout New York, which is already pretty lit up. Also, I know I've seen a comment or 2 saying, you know, you're not really that interested in the lighting updates. Well, the big thing with lights, as I explained in the comment, is that this is like the first steps of HHN. Once the lights come in, that means that we're like in HHN season. So it always starts with the lights, then it goes to the trusses, and then it goes to the actual physical props inside of the scare zone. So once the lights start, that's like this exciting news to say like, hey, it is happening. Obviously, it is not nearly as exciting as seeing the set pieces that show up in the streets. But unfortunately, we are still probably another at least 2 to 3 weeks, I would assume, until we see that. Next week, I believe, is 4th of July, so I don't know if they're gonna do anything then. But typically right after the 4th is when we start to get like little tricklings of stuff showing up. Also, do you see that like batch of lights right there? I think those are new, if I'm not mistaken. But again, you can just see all of the lights on all of the buildings down there. All of them on display. I don't think any of these are new. So very cool to see how lit up this place is gonna be. I'm still very excited for the scare zone. But again, we still gotta wait. They have also added a single light here in the alley. Sorry, it's very loud in here right now, but single light up there. Hopefully this scrim is removed before Halloween Horror Nights. They typically display things on here. And I feel like if the scrim is not removed, it's gonna look kind of weird, but I guess we'll find out. I don't think it's gonna last that much longer, right? While we walk, let's talk about our next house that was announced. This would be our 3rd original, and that was going to be Madlands Caged Cannibals. In this haunted house, a defunct zoo is now the deadly domain of warring cannibal factions that have taken their animal instincts to extremes. They're territorial, they're hungry, and you're lunch. Now, it's interesting. I was not expecting to get a cannibal-esque style house at Halloween Horror Nights, but here we are, and I don't know. I feel like this house is going to be pretty insane.
So Ramon said, I cannot overstate how excited I am for everyone to experience this house. It's intense, in your face, and old school HHN presented in an elevated way that pushes boundaries. And then Laura Sauls in a Cinema Blend interview said, it's a bloody house. It's one of the bloodiest this year. The cannibals are coming at guests strongly. They are killing machines, and every person that goes into this house is their prey. And then later on, she goes to say, we think this house is going to be one of the most aggressive in the event. I think this one is going to be very intense, very bloody, very in your face, very intense. These are tribes of cannibals. They just need to eat, and you are their food.
I have this house pretty high on my hype list right now, just like mentally. I haven't really like gone through the list or anything like that, but just knowing that we're going back to like, I want to say scary. Obviously, we don't know how good it's going to be, but if it is going to be like that old school, pretty like horror-esque and not so just kind of like fun, I think a lot of people are going to end up liking it. But obviously, we don't know until we go through it. But I am excited to know that they say it is going to be pretty aggressive. And again, giving that old nod to the HHN roots has me pretty excited for it. So hopefully this one is going to be a pretty fun one. Again, cannibals, I don't know, I feel like that's such like a unique thing to have at Horror Nights. I think it'll be a very fun and aggressive house. So let's head into Diagon Alley. We have a little bit more updates for the Death Eaters here. It is actually not too busy in here right now, which I'm very surprised about. Maybe we are just early enough, but typically this place is slam packed. Maybe it's all the shading in here, but I always feel like walking through Diagon Alley is relatively cool even in the summers. I don't know if it's just because like there's a lot of doors, so like AC's coming out. It could be all the shade. I don't really know, but I really enjoy it. Either way, here we go with our next update, which is the big stage. This is always here. Again, none of this is actually relatively new. It's new for this year, but obviously it has been here in years past. But there you go, a little step box to get up, and then you have all of the props next door. Again, this isn't for us. This is for the Death Eaters to come out, put on a little show, and so on. But very cool to see that we have more updates here for the Death Eaters. There's a little bit more of a wider look to kind of see how it all looks, with all of the ink there in the background. Now that is all there normally, but just to kind of show you what it looks like. All right, let's head out. That is the only thing new that I'm seeing in here. I'm kind of sad we're not gonna have bathroom updates or bridge updates this year. All of you that were here last year know that we came around all the time checking in on the refurbishment of this bathroom and that bridge. It took quite a while to kind of refurbish the entire bridge, but going to be sad to not have those this year. Maybe we'll have something else. And we can't choose to do Hollywood Drift because there's just too much with that. Also, construction worker is walking out of the Nightmare Fuel area, so it looks like maybe they just got done doing some work there, maybe going to lunch or something right now. Also, I don't know why I was whispering. I mean, we're all just walking in a theme park at this point. But let's take a quick look. I'm gonna see if anything new has happened over here. It doesn't look like it. Oh, I just heard something clanking around in there. But I don't think anything that I can see is too new. There's like these like kind of half moon shaped things that we kind of pointed out last time. I'll insert images of them again. But as of right now, I just don't think there's really anything we can see as of yet. Oh, you know what? I did just see a construction worker walking right there though, behind the benches, like out that way. So nothing really new that I can see. I mean, there are some new things, but nothing new that I can film because it's like, it's between these cracks, so you can't really see the entire picture. But I will tell you, this looks completely different than Nightmare Fuel in years past. There is like some sort of facade there that doesn't scream dance show or like whatever. This is like something different. I can't totally point it out yet. I can't see enough, but I will tell you this looks completely different as far as the stage and what is up there. So I'm still very hopeful that we have a brand new show. I don't think we're getting Nightmare Fuel to return. Again, the Fuel Girls will not be returning. It does not necessarily mean that Nightmare Fuel won't be returning, because the Fuel Girls were not the ones that were in charge of the entire Nightmare Fuel. They were basically the big team that they brought in, and then they kind of worked with them. But when it comes to the actual show, they could still do Nightmare Fuel, no Fuel Girls. So it is still a possibility. But based on what I'm seeing, that doesn't look like a Nightmare Fuel based show from what I'm seeing through the cracks. We also don't have any updates to these mini trusses right here. Still all the same. Men in Black only a 10-minute wait right now. Again, if you come to the park, I always say start in the back because typically everybody goes to the first rides, which is why Despicable Me had such a long wait, and we are still in the back right now, and a lot of people haven't made it quite back here yet. However, it is AC time. This is always the best place to stop. Also, I don't know if you guys knew, but in the back of the Men in Black gift shop, I always come back here just to like see if they do anything with it. They still haven't in quite a while, but it's a lot of Marvel merch. You can see like Avengers over here. They have these little like book things, or I guess it's like little box things, little box lunch up there too. Little plushes, but I always just kind of come back here and get some AC. I feel like I should start adding segments into the videos where every time I go in to do an AC break, we just play some music and it's just me like dancing or something in whatever location I'm at. And then that's just our section. So it'll just be the AC break. But all right, we got a bunch of AC. This is honestly like the best stop in the whole loop and it's not even close. It's just the best AC. I don't know what they do in here. Do you remember we used to be able to like see through these and get like mini updates like 3 or 4 years ago? Oh, you actually still kind of can. All right, not really, but it used to be a lot more open through here and we could see some of the work being done on the tents, but not really anymore. He's looking for some food nice and early. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody has any leftover food. I haven't seen anybody eating yet. Oh, I see the door open over here. I just saw a golf cart moving. They might be working diligently on the tent houses. So this is interesting. Right down there, there's some wood probably being cut on supports. And then we have the golf carts, so somebody's probably in that second tent. We have the fencing. We have the trusses, nothing too crazy here. And then right up front, you can see back there, door is open. Don't know what all is going on inside, but it is open, which makes me think they're working. We also have the garbage can right there, so they're probably dumping stuff as they're working. And also there's a white like van, like pickup truck, or not pickup truck, but like the like Sprinter vans almost right there. So there is definitely work being done on these tents. You got to be careful walking through Simpsons with all these light poles, all of those pigeons sitting up there. You are a prime target. When will he return? I don't know, been a while. I don't think I am seeing anything new on these trusses. Just our cords, just our trusses, and just our lights. But don't forget, over at Parkside Fair, they have now added tables to go sit in the shade right over there. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any air conditioning, but hey, shade is shade in the summer. I was just about to ask if you think Doc will come roaming out this way again. I feel like he's normally out there in Hollywood, but he is out this direction right now. But we need to talk about some of these lights right now. Do we feel like these lights have shifted? The two on the right definitely have not, but the four other ones look like they're going kind of all over the place, unless it's just been a little while and the heat is getting to me. It's probably just that, so I guess we'll just kind of say eh. But look at the other side. After all was said and done, it was just this little patio right here. Nothing HHN based, it doesn't seem. So it was all walled off, and now it is finally done and assembled. And the light is still pointing over here. So maybe, wouldn't it be cool if we had like a scare actor up here? Maybe like walking up and down? I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's finished. While we're over here, let's talk about our fourth house, which was just announced this morning. Again, we should have our next announcement tomorrow at 10:35 a.m. For those of you guys that maybe don't know, right now we are in the 35th anniversary of Halloween Horror Nights. So right now they're doing 10:35 for basically, I would assume like October 35 is kind of, I don't know. I mean, they just choose a random time, I guess, but then they use like the second portion as kind of their announcement time. So we're doing 10:35 is when we're getting these original house announcements. It might also be when they do Scare Zone announcements or show announcements, things like that. Any of the IPs, I think will still continue to be anywhere between 12, 1, or 2. And the reason I say that is because it's both coasts most of the time. So we share all the IPs with both coasts, I think, except for maybe like the weekend we didn't, like last year, 2 years ago or whatever. Sometimes we don't share every single IP. For the most part, we share all the IPs. So I think they're trying to keep it on that schedule. However, today's announcement, fourth original house, is Cybergoria. Awaken thousands of years in the future in this haunted house and brave a cold world driven by machines with a singular goal: to make you live forever, even if it kills you. Interesting. I was not expecting to get that announcement today, but it does seem kind of fun, a little Terminator-esque, I guess. And I mean, not super Terminator-y, but a little bit, right? It's kind of like the future. I don't know. I like sci-fi horror. I think it's fun. I think it's a good idea to kind of like mix like classic horror, sci-fi horror, new horror. I think just like bringing like a new slate of options to the table, I think is always a good thing to do. It just gives you more options for houses to go through. Obviously, you want to go through things that you enjoy, but also you want to have like a variety. And I think this is variety, and for that, I'm very hopeful. So it looks like right now, those are the 4. We have Jack versus Oddfellow. We now have Cybergoria. We have the Cannibals and HR Blood and Guts. So we are waiting for our 5th and final original announcement, hopefully tomorrow. And then it's just IPs, shows, scare zones. If they're doing anything unique, things like that, will still have to show up at some point. So we'll keep an eye on it. But for now, those are the 4 original houses that we have announced so far for HHN35. Now we have a crow up there. It's kind of squawking, but we do have, oh, there he goes. No big updates, it doesn't seem, with any of these trusses here through Central Park. And I don't think we're gonna have too many big changes, in all honesty, with the lights. I think most of that is pretty wrapped up. I think all of these lights are still facing the same direction, so I don't know how much testing they're necessarily doing right now. Now, like I said, I think we're gonna be getting more HHN updates this weekend, but we'll be talking about spec map stuff, not like me and the map, but just stuff relating to it. And then hopefully we'll have, like I said, a few more small little updates around the parks. I know they've been kind of out and about. I've seen a lot of Horror Nights shirts kind of walking around, so my guess is they are doing a little bit of prep. Maybe we'll get a little bit of something here before next week, because obviously 4th of July, I think they will end up kind of, you know, calling it quits for that week. And then obviously the week after, I think it is like full steam ahead for HHN. I feel like this display has looked the same every single time I've come in here. Just this right side kind of spilling off, but that's all right. Plenty of merch still going around. I don't think we need to really check in on much right now. I think everything has been available since day 1 of all the announcements. So Sinners, everything. Stranger Things, everything. The original Jack vs. Oddfellow. That was a little finicky because some of the acrylic stuff was kind of hard to get. And then also the poster. That was the thing that went very quickly. But I think most of that is just about it. Not too long of an update. A few small things around the parks. We talked about the new house announcements. And we are now prepped and ready for tomorrow and the weekend. Has this moved even further? I almost feel like it was closer to that tree. Like at first I thought it was way up there, then I thought it was here, now I think it's here. I feel like I'm playing like Victor from the TV show. Like trying to like measure, I'm like, how far have we moved? Have the trees moved? Like has the truss moved 28 inches? I don't know, I'll use this as my reference point now. So we have about like a foot's length in between the edge and like this old school concrete, because I feel like this thing has moved back. Also, anybody that doesn't watch the show from probably is like, what are you talking about? Pretty decent show. It's feeling like it's dragging on a little bit. If anybody is watching it, I just feel like even season 1, there goes our bell, by the way. Even season 1, I feel like I was like, hey, we got to start progressing the story. Season 2 came along, I'm like, hey, we got to start progressing the story. Season 3, I'm like, where are we going? Where is the story? And 4, we finally are getting somewhere a little bit, but season 5 is the final season. So do I like the show? Yes, and I think it is a great show. I think you should watch it, but you have to understand this is a very slow burn for story. It's just how it is, and I know that is how the other shows that they've done that have been similar have been, where like they just kind of drag it on for quite a while. But just so you know, from decent show, if you guys are looking for something interesting to watch, and I believe the final episode for the season is Sunday. I should point this out as I'm heading out. Look at this. We have the 1-year anniversary Dark Universe vinyls here inside of studios. So if you guys are looking for those, they are here on display. This is also the Captain Cacao, the new one. So it has like the metallic-y look. On the foot, you can see the Epic Universe print down there. So they have brought a few of the 1-year anniversary pieces over here. What do we have over here? The holiday ornament. Oh, that's really dark. There you go. So we have a few pieces, and then also the Spirit jersey. So they brought some stuff here from the 1 year. That's actually really cool. The pigeon's finally getting fed. Go get that popcorn. He wants it right there. He's gonna grab it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There he goes. Oh, he's like, no. Maybe it was too big. You got that piece though. There you go. It's lunchtime for them too. Well, let me know What are you guys looking most forward to for Halloween Horror Nights from things that are announced so far? We don't want to talk about things that are probably coming, potentially coming, anything like that. But as of right now, we have 2 IP houses. We have Sinners, Stranger Things. We have 4 originals, Jack vs. Oddfellow, HR Blood and Guts, Cannibals, and Cybergoria. So what are you guys most excited for out of this slate that we have right now? I don't know. For me, it's honestly probably between the IPs. HR Blood and Guts I know has quite the following. I didn't get to do the house back in 2011, so for me it's kind of like, I don't know, I want to see it just because I didn't get to experience it, but I know a lot of people have a lot of love for that. And then, I don't know, Stranger Things, like I know season 5 wasn't great, but it's still Stranger Things and I still want to see it and just kind of like let it come to life. And then also Sinners. I feel like Sinners is a great just like IP to have at the event. So like, I don't know, I'm pretty torn. I guess right now I'd have to say, I would maybe say Sinners just because I think it's gonna be really well done. But I think Stranger Things is a close second. But again, not my hype list yet. It's just kind of spitballing off the top of my head. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think. If you had fun with me here today though, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next one, which hopefully will be either tomorrow or Saturday. I don't know, we'll be back very soon.